I like the juxtaposition of the very modern with the extremely ornate Blanc de Chine vase. That kind of sense of humor and that campness, I think is really wonderful. In fact, this whole place is really camp if you think about it. Hi, Scape. Welcome to my home. So this is the barn out in the Boerland that we've been working and living from now for a while. When I first walked in, what kind of struck me was the sheer volume of the space and the wooden beams and the large double volume space. And it's literally one big open room. And what I've done is I've designed it in a way that it's zoned out and different pieces of furniture create different areas in the barn. So we've got our workstation down this side with pinboard showing inspiration for jobs that we've been doing. And what we like to do is I like to mix my art collection around all of the bits of work. One of the great things about living in a completely open plan space is that I was able to create these different zones. So this is my work zone. This is kind of a relaxing zone. And as you come down over here, it's a great place to receive guests over here and look out at the view. I collect a lot of books on design and homemaking, and so I put a lot of my collection over here. And I have a collection close to the kitchen as well. But what I like to do with my home is I like to mix a lot of my vintage furniture in with more modern stuff as well. This little zone over here is kind of where we spend lunch parties, and then at night time I prefer to go across over there to the hearth. This over here is like, I think it's 19th century Blanc de Chine vase. It kind of looks quite baroque, and it's just the craziest thing. This is like one of the pieces that everybody like freaks out when they come into the space and they, oh my god, it's so kitsch and how can you have it? But I kind of like the super kitsch and camp aspect to it. So I like to call this the formal lounge. It's the kind of nighttime space sitting in front of the hearth over here. This is my favorite. The hearth is my favorite spot in the barn. What I love about it is that it's really long and open, and so we store all the wood on the one side and the fires on the left-hand side, and it doesn't feel like this little add-on to the room. It feels like it's part of the room, which I think is amazing. And during winter time, this is where we all sit after dinner and kind of just enjoy the warmth. What I love about the hearth and how it affects the whole room, but the barn was renovated by Maciej Maszewski from VDMMA, and it really is the focal point of the room. So much so that what I wanted to do is paint everything behind it black so that it stands out even more. And I placed these two little stools in front of it so that people can really like warm up next to the fire. It is the most special part of the barn for me. So if you come down here, past the books and the art over here, you'll come with me straight into the kitchen, which is where I host most of dinner parties and lunch parties, and I show off more of my art collection. I wanted it to be a really homely farm kind of kitchen. And so the appliances are out and spices are out and my cookbooks are out, and it's a really, really cozy space. What I've done is I use a lot of my prototypes mixed with mid-century pieces, and then of course my art collection, which is all over the place. Because this room was going to be very dark, I wanted to emphasize the colors with the artworks, and so you'll see I've brought my most colorful artworks into the kitchen over here. It started off as white, and that wasn't working for me. And then I slowly but surely added stainless steel counters, so it's got a bit of an industrial edge to it, and then mix it with like quite ornate furniture, 50s furniture, brutalist furniture. At the kitchen table, there's a long couch on down the one side, so people are pulling their knees up onto the furniture, and we have dinner parties that last hours. It's amazing. This is the mezzanine, which rests on top of the trusses for the roof. It's extremely open, and it opens up to the whole space. And this is where my bedroom is. Just like the kitchen, I wanted it to be a dark and moody space. I'm the kind of person where at 10 o'clock in the evening, I get into bed, I wake up at 5, and I don't really spend much time in my room anyway. So I really wanted it to be dark and kind of romantic. And so I used my Coromandel screen as a headboard, which I think for a moody space looks really amazing. I've been living in Cape Town for about 20 years, and I kind of felt it was time to move on. It's always been a dream of mine to buy a little plot and build a house of my own on it. And what moving to this barn has given me is a chance to kind of understand what living in the Boerland is really like. How I came onto the barn was really kind of serendipitous. I was on Instagram one day looking at a friend of mine's posting, and this barn, completely empty, came up on the screen. And I saw the images and I saw the volume, and I was just like, this is exactly what I need. I personally have always liked living in single rooms. It just kind of makes the decoration a lot easier, a lot more fluid, as opposed to being defined by specific areas. And so I walked in, and it was literally exactly what I'd been looking for. And then when I saw the hearth, I mean, it was just perfect. And I think I moved in a week later.